Hey YouTube world, I'm just getting over what was probably potentially the coronavirus, although I wasn't tested. And so I decided to use the rest of my quarantine time to make a YouTube video. So I'm gonna make a video about how to travel America, how to road trip America on a minimalist budget. The first thing is your car. I recommend a van because you just have a lot more space if you're going to be on the road for a few months at a time. You'll be grateful in the end to have things like well organized and to be able to find everything and to feel like it's your home space versus having a small car where everything's really cramped and you can't really sleep in it if you need to, besides just sleeping on the seat, and maybe all your stuff is on the seat. So you do save on money if you're interested in like the cramped quarters, but I would recommend a van. And storage, or like the amount of stuff wise, I honestly say get rid of everything before you go on this road trip, or at least put it all in storage, because the more you bring with you, like it ends up being unnecessary. You only have time for a few hobbies because you're usually out and about doing stuff anyways, so maybe just like an instrument and some painting stuff, or whatever your hobby is, math or Sudoku or whatever. But honestly, don't bring too many. And girls, I know I made this mistake, like you think you're gonna need 30 outfits because you're gonna be in New York City at some point, but really you don't end up wearing any of them because they're all like lost and it's just overwhelming and it's a hassle. So really just minimal. You never wear makeup either, so it really doesn't matter. Like you end up not wearing it like twice, so maybe just like a few things or no makeup at all. But if you can't not go without makeup, then you're gonna end up doing it in the rear view mirror a lot, so get used to that. And then like shelter, like places to stay. Again, this is for like minimalist traveling, so everybody's heard of AMBRB and stuff. But I would say one of the biggest ones, couch surfing, if you haven't already heard of it or done it, is great. So couchsurfing.com. But also, I did this so much on my road trip, if you go into a national park before or after the ticket office is closed, so not during their opening hours, then it's actually free to be in a national park. So often I would go in like right early in the morning or something and would have slept right outside in the national forest, because national forest is free for parking, so that's a big place to stay. So national forest, city parks, but in very rural areas, like I wouldn't recommend it in New York City. But state parks, again, this is a little bit illegal, but if you go in when they're not open and leave before they open, then you don't get caught. So that works. And same thing with national parks. But if you get caught, you get fined, and that happened once to me. So it's not a big deal, but you just have to pay for the spot that you camped. Another one is like friends from town. Like if you know people around, then you can get a place to stay. Or if you're just walking around and you happen to go to a bar and tell people you don't really have a place to stay, maybe you get a connection. But be really careful, ladies, with doing that. But you know, it's always a thing. I'm a pretty trusting person, so go with your best judgment. And then food-wise, you should definitely get depending on what style of like road tripping you want to do. But I had a personal burner, like a backpacking burner. I actually never even used it, maybe twice, but I had it, so you should have it just in case you feel like doing that. But I actually what I ended up doing most often, because I'm lazy, is just going to the gas stations and microwaving food in their microwaves and using their forks and napkins and straws and salt and pepper and sometimes their ketchup. And so that's always an option. You can also use friends' stoves, like I said. So obviously if you're staying at someone's house or if you're couch surfing, you can use their stuff. But on the road, on the road, you can use city park grills. Like if you're in a city area, they usually have like grills and stuff at certain parks, and their benches and stuff, and just kind of have a picnic out there. And yeah, like national park grills, anything like that of the sort is good. And what you do on a road trip is totally up to you. Like I said, national parks are free during the, it's, sorry, it's free so when they're not open. So when the ticket office isn't open, you can actually drive through and it's free to be in the national park. But again, they're on odd hours, so it's like late in the night and super early before sunrise. Get there way before sunrise, but it's so worth it because sunrises are beautiful in national parks. And like, to make money on the road trip, if you really are desperate for money, which at some point I did get kind of desperate for money, but I got super lucky, and long story, I got money again. But some of the ways that other people can make money while on the road is by busking. I tried that a few times in big cities. It'll at least get you a few dollars. Maybe you can get some lunch or something, or a little bit of gas if you're stuck somewhere. Like labor and garden work, especially if you look on Craigslist, if you're a labor type of person, like especially people that have experience in that, it's really easy to find like day jobs or something where you can just hold a sign somewhere and, you know, or just help out with some labor work or garden work. Farm work as well, especially word of mouth if you're going to be around the area for a while. House sitting is one that less people think of, but yeah, you can find places where people are looking for house sitters. You might not get paid, but you might get a place to stay, or you can get paid and get a place to stay. Double bonus, that'd be great. And gigs, like if you're a singer, actress, more of a singer, but you know, like if you play an instrument, just set up a gig, play at a bar, play at an open mic, whatever, put a tip jar out. If you can set up some gigs, that's ideal, obviously, but yeah, that's always an option. Selling creative work, like paintings and jewelry and things, or doing online work, like everybody's heard of blogging, surveys, creating your own business online, doing photography online, all that kind of stuff, if you have one of those talents. Otherwise, just save up some money before you go on your road trip and you'll be set, but you need a lot of money. Gas is expensive, but it's totally worth it. Security-wise, honestly, nothing will probably happen to you, but it's always better to be safe than sorry. So I would recommend for females, actually everybody, just to have bear spray, because it's super strong. It works against animals when you're in Montana, and like if you're going to go to Yosemite or any of these, sorry, I didn't mean Yosemite, I meant Yellowstone, but if you go to any national parks and you're planning on doing camping in grizzly season or anything like that, then having bear spray not only works for to repel animals, but also humans. It's really strong, it's painful. So bear spray and a knife. A knife is kind of just a must. And yeah, just put curtains on in your vehicle so that nobody can see inside, especially if you're a female. Make sure if you do park in the city that you're parking in like well-lit areas. Oh, I totally forgot to mention this. Backtrack a little bit. Walmart is one of the best places to park, especially if you're tired and you just want like a safe place to sleep and you've been driving all day and you're like, where's the closest Walmart? Walmart. It's a go-to. They're open 24 hours and you're legally allowed to park and sleep in their parking lot. So find a spot in the way back. There's still lights, but if you have your curtains up, like I said, nobody can see and you can't really get the lights, and then you can go buy some Oreos. Even if you're not a big Walmart supporter like myself, sometimes it's nice, you know, just buy some Doritos, use their bathroom to brush your teeth, and then, you know, it's a good place. And so make sure you're in well-lit areas if you are parking in a city. If you're in rural areas, then just like lock your doors and use common sense. And watch out for the police and the rangers. They're gonna bother you because you're on a road trip and they just do that, and you're parked in random places. They come and knock on your door at 5 a.m. and ask you why you're parked there, and you say you're sleeping, and then they can't do anything about it, and then they just leave you alone, but they wake you up and you just like, you have to talk for like 20 minutes about what you're doing there. So watch out for them. Also, they give you tickets if you're parked in places where you didn't know you weren't supposed to. So just watch out and be careful and be smart. Most of the time, like, you're safe, but those are the ones that really bother you a lot, and it kind of freaks you out when you get knocks at 5 a.m. or whatever. It's just like jumpy. Stay healthy. Eat vitamins. Eat healthy. Try to avoid fast food. I didn't mention it in the food section because it's very unhealthy, and you'll probably get fat. Like, you know, you're just sitting in a car I got a little chubby. Like, you're sitting in a car all the time, and I wasn't even eating fast food, but yeah, like, you're sitting in a car all the time. You kind of hike, but you also are sitting the other half of the time and sleeping, and like, you know, it just depends. You do definitely do some hiking, but you get chubby, so try to avoid the fast food. Hygiene-wise, showers are at national parks and city parks. I mean, like city beaches if you're in beach areas. But national parks and state parks, you can always pay to use their showers, and they're really nice most of the time. Yeah, and friends' houses, couch surfers, different places like that. You can also use like lakes, like just kind of biodegradable soap, or preferably no soap, but just rinse off in a lake or like an ocean or whatever, just a body of water, and use baby wipes. You could also use the gas station and kind of like sponge bath with a rag, which I did a few times. Just on the days that you don't find a shower. Or you could definitely go to a gym and get a workout and not get chubby. I didn't do that, but it's a great idea, and I knew it was an idea and I never took the option. Go to a local gym and just use their shower, use their workout equipment. You know, it's a win-win. Or just don't shower. Between me and the rest of the world, I didn't shower for like 2 weeks. It's the max I've ever done in my life, and it's the only time I ever did that, but I just didn't even realize it, and then I realized how much time had passed, and that I was disgusting, and that I needed a shower, but I didn't even care because I was alone in the forest. So those are my tips. If I forgot anything, just leave a message in the comments, and I will definitely get back to you, since there's nothing better to do. Actually, that's not true. I've got other stuff. Anyways, bye!